Sarah Cornyn. Can I get your reaction quickly to just the executive privilege argument that President Biden is making this morning? He's saying that he's exerting executive privilege over the audio files in the Hur report.
Strikes me as bizarre, but I think the most troubling part about it is that it demonstrates who was in control of the investigation of the President of the United States for misuse of classified documents. Apparently it was the President of the United States who's in control. But this idea that the Special Counsel can interview the President of the United States, use that excerpts from that in his report, and then the President can then claim executive privilege to prevent the complete report from being released, strikes me as an abuse of power and just a bizarre exercise of control. This would never happen in a normal, impartial judicial proceeding, but President Biden apparently controls his own investigation, and I think this is evidence of that.
So do you think that House Republicans are taking an appropriate step today by moving to hold Garland in contempt?
Absolutely. But the source of the problem isn't so much Garland at this point, it's the President of the United States. Can you imagine having a criminal investigation where the person who is the object of that investigation can then limit the public access to the information that is used to basically acquit them or vindicate them? It just is a bizarre, strange abuse of the legal system, and frankly, I think it's outrageous.
Do you have any plans to join the former president at court in New York?
No.
What do you make of your colleagues taking trips up there to do it?
Everybody makes their own decisions. My decision is to stay here and do my job.
And you're somebody who's wants to be the leader next time. Would that help you if it comes down push to shove and he gets elected president? You get to that leadership election come November to be
Go to New York?
Well, yes, potentially. I mean, the Speaker of the House did it.
I think the most important thing I can do is to tell President Trump that I look forward to working with him for the next 4 years like I did in his previous term. My conversations with him, both on the phone and in person, I told him that I thought he had a very successful presidency. Unfortunately, a lot of that's been lost in this time because of other developments, but to me, that's the most important thing. And I will let the legal system sort out what's happening in New York right now. It's obviously up to a jury, but I think the witnesses that are being called by the prosecution have some serious credibility problems. But again, that's for the jury and the court there.
And of course, we have this bill in the House today on Israel, compelling the administration to send this aid to Israel. Could you imagine a scenario where some of your Republican colleagues might try to do like a UC on the floor to get that on the floor? Senator Schumer has said we're not going to bring that up.
Sure.
And what do you think about it?
Well, the problem is, given the separation of powers, there's only so much the legislative branch can do. But to me, it's a supreme act of hubris and arrogance to try to dictate to a sovereign nation how they can defend themselves against terrorism. But this is not the first time that the administration sent a muddled message. First, we stand with Israel, and then to tell Israel, no, you can't defend yourself unless you do it the way that we want you to do it. It's, to me, outrageous. We'd never tolerate that.
Is it muddled because of the politics on their side, or are Republicans contributing to that by saying, we know that they have a muddle there and we're going to make sure the voters know about it?
I think the president's put himself in a box. He claims to be pro-Israel, and then he supports the same people that are supporting Hamas, a terrorist organization, a proxy for Iran. Again, it's another example of him wanting to have it both ways and basically disappointing both sides of an argument.
But are Republicans using that? Here we are, and it's the campaign season here to say, look, voters, there's a problem, a schism on the Democratic side.
I don't think Republicans have to say anything. I think the Democrats are in a circular firing squad.
What are your thoughts on Senate Democrats bringing up this border bill again, possibly next week?
This is a fig leaf. If the president was serious about enforcing the border, he could have done it the last 3.5 years. He has all the authorities that he needs in order to do that, but he simply refused to enforce the law. So no new law, let's say hypothetically some new law got passed, what confidence would you have, or would I have, that he would actually enforce it? The same laws that are in effect now were in effect when President Trump was present, and obviously the results at the border were dramatically different. And that's why the presidential election is so critical to actually electing somebody who will actually enforce the law and secure the border.
Thank you.
Thank you.